That one wild night changed everything. It's like the world shifted, and now I see things in a way I never thought possible. I can't stop thinking about how it all unfolded, the sparks that flew, and the way it felt as if time stood still for just a moment. One night, just one night, and suddenly the entire course of my life has altered. The intensity, the emotions, the passion, it lingers, and I find myself questioning everything I once thought was certain. How do you go back to normal when something that incredible happens? That one wild night left a mark on me that can't be erased. It's like the person I was before doesn't exist anymore. Something shifted deep inside. I keep replaying that night in my mind over and over again. The way everything felt so surreal, so right. Yet now there's this lingering sense of something new and profound that I can't ignore. I'm changed, and I'm still trying to understand what it means. The memory of that night haunts me in the best and worst ways. It feels like the universe gave me a glimpse of something amazing, and now I can't let go. It's as if a door opened that I didn't know was even there. There's this undeniable feeling that everything is different. That wild night awakened something inside of me, a feeling of freedom, of possibility, but also an uncertainty that I'm not sure how to navigate. We had one wild night, and now it feels like I'm walking through a world that's both familiar and foreign. The past seems so far away, but the present is full of possibilities that I'm afraid to embrace. It's hard to explain the rush, the overwhelming sensation of that night. Now everything has shifted. I can't go back to the way things were before. My thoughts are filled with questions about what comes next. I thought I knew who I was, but after that night, I feel like I'm standing on the edge of something bigger. There's a pull, a force that I can't resist, and it has me questioning everything I once took for granted. The night we shared was more than just a memory. It was a moment in time that changed me. I don't know how to move forward when everything feels different, when I keep thinking about that one wild, unforgettable experience. What happens when you've had a moment that shifts everything? When one night changes the way you view life, love, and yourself, it's like waking up in a new world where the rules no longer apply. That one wild night left me with more questions than answers. It was thrilling, it was unexpected, and now I'm trying to figure out how to process the emotions, the aftermath, and what it all means for the future. It feels like we crossed a line, and now the boundaries between what was and what could be are blurred. I never expected a single night to leave me feeling so lost and found at the same time. I can't stop thinking about the way everything changed after that night. It was like an awakening, a shift in the universe that opened my eyes to possibilities I never saw before. But with that comes the fear of the unknown. That one wild night, it's like it rewired my brain. Now, every thought I have is colored by that experience, that intensity, that connection. And I don't know if I'm ready for what comes next, but I can't stop wanting it. In the aftermath of that night, I can't help but wonder, what was it really all about? Was it just a fleeting moment, or was it the beginning of something more? My heart races at the thought of what could be. We had one wild night, and now nothing feels the same. It's like I'm seeing the world through new eyes. Everything is more vivid, more intense, more alive. But at the same time, there's this ache, this longing for something I can't quite put into words. That night felt like an explosion, a burst of passion and energy that consumed me. And now it's like that energy is still inside me, and I can't figure out how to release it or where to direct it next. One wild night is all it took to unravel the tapestry of everything I thought I knew. Now I'm left with fragments of memories and emotions, wondering what happens next in this unpredictable journey. I never thought one night could change so much. It's as though the earth shifted beneath me, and now I'm left to navigate this new reality where nothing feels quite the same. What happens when the connection between two people is so intense, so electric, that it alters the course of their lives forever? One wild night can leave you questioning your own heart, your desires, and everything you thought you knew about love. That wild night was more than just an experience. It was a catalyst, a spark that ignited something within me, something that I can't ignore. And now I'm left trying to figure out what it all means and where it leads. It's strange how one night can change everything. That night, that moment, it's as if a veil was lifted, and now I'm seeing the world in a way I never did before. But along with the clarity comes confusion. Where do I go from here? After that wild night, I don't know if I can go back to pretending everything is normal, the energy, the connection. It's too powerful, too real. And now I'm left wondering if I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. There's a part of me that wants to forget that night, to move on and pretend it was just a moment in time. But another part of me knows that something inside me has changed. I can't shake the feeling that I'm not the same person anymore. That wild night opened my eyes to a side of myself I didn't even know existed. And now I'm left to figure out how to integrate that part of me into the life I've always known. It's not easy, but it's real. I didn't expect that night to affect me the way it did. It was supposed to be just a fleeting moment, but now everything feels different. I'm seeing the world through new eyes, and it's both exhilarating and terrifying. In that one wild night, I found something I didn't know I was looking for. Now, every thought, every feeling, every decision is colored by that experience, and it's leaving me with more questions than answers. The intensity of that night has stayed with me, and it's like a part of me can't move forward until I understand what happened. But there's a fear that if I try to understand it, I'll lose the magic of what it was. One wild night, and now everything feels uncertain. My emotions are all over the place, and I don't know how to make sense of it all. But one thing is clear: I can't go back to the way things were before. It was just one night, but it feels like the ripple effect of it is never ending. I can't stop thinking about it, wondering if that was the beginning of something greater or just a beautiful, fleeting moment. After that night, I can't look at things the same way. Every moment feels like it's charged with energy, with meaning, and yet there's this nagging feeling that I've stepped into something I'm not sure I can handle. I keep replaying the details of that night, the way everything felt so right, so perfect. And now it's like a part of me is chasing that feeling, trying to figure out what it meant and what to do with it. That wild night made me realize that life can change in an instant. One moment, everything is normal. The next, everything is different. And now I'm left trying to figure out how to move forward in a world that's been permanently altered. The way that night unfolded has stayed with me in a way I never expected. It's as though a piece of my soul has been awakened, and now nothing feels quite the same. But with that awakening comes a sense of uncertainty. I didn't think one night could change everything, but here I am, trying to make sense of the shift inside me, the emotions, the questions, the possibilities. They're overwhelming, but I can't ignore them. That night felt like a collision of everything I ever wanted and everything I feared. Now I'm left to sort through the aftermath, to understand what it all means for my heart, my future, and my place in this world. The wildness of that night has become a part of me, and now I'm trying to figure out how to reconcile that with the person I was before. I don't know what comes next, but I can't pretend that I'm not changed. It's as though that one wild night cracked open a door I didn't even know was there, and now I can't close it. I'm left standing in this new reality, unsure of where it will take me, but unable to turn back. That night was more than just a fleeting moment of passion. It was a turning point, a realization that things can change in the blink of an eye. And now I find myself caught between what was and what could be. The energy of that wild night still lingers in me. I can't escape the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions that it stirred up. And as much as I want to move forward, I can't help but wonder if I'm ready for what comes next. I feel like I've stepped into a new chapter of my life after that night. Everything seems different now. My thoughts are consumed with what happened, and my emotions are tangled in the aftermath. That night was a reminder that life is unpredictable, that one moment can change everything. And now I'm standing on the edge of something unknown, unsure of whether to jump or turn back. I can't shake the feeling that something inside of me shifted after that night. It was as if the universe spoke to me in ways I didn't understand at the time. Now I'm left trying to figure out how to move forward. One night, one moment in time, and now everything feels different. The way I look at love, at life, at myself, it's all changed, and I don't know how to navigate this new reality.